Hey there, everybody. How you doing? Welcome to Very Dead Gaming. I'm Very Dead. Today we are playing some more Elite Dangerous. I got this crazy idea a few weeks ago that I was going to uh, buy a cutter and trick it out for core mining to see if I could do 1 billion per run, 1 billion credits per Void Opal run. So, well, of course, my account had um, no rank in the Navy, the Federal or the Empire Navy. So I had to rank up first. So I did my last stream. I did kind of a rescue passenger rescue missions from stations that were attacked by Thargoids, and surprisingly, it went very easy. I'm super quick to rank up. I think I did 5 ranks in an amazingly short period of time, and so I ranked up to Duke, which is the rank you need in order to purchase Imperial Cutter. So here's the cutter that I bought, and it's got pretty low shields. Um, it's got a little bit of hull, not much, and then because remember this is for mining only. This is not an open uh, uh, ship. It would not survive very long in open. But so I've got here's your mining stuff. Because we're going to be out there for a long time. 3 seismic charge launchers, so that we have enough ammo, and then an abrasion blaster, and then pulse wave analyzer, heat sink, and chaff, just in case we have to have a run in with an NPC. That way we can just kind of get out of there. So it's got its regular fuel tank, and then as much cargo as I could fit, with also having shields. And the smallest shields you can get are the 6D or grade 6. I don't know. Maybe I could engineer them in another ship and I could get by with a 5, but I'm not sure. And then collector limpet controller, the frameshift drive booster, that will go away when I get to where I'm going, and then basically we will replace that with another cargo rack. Then we have the Prospector Limpet controller and detailed surface scanner, planetary approach suite. Obviously, you want to keep that in there. You never know when you need to do planetary landing. Core internals. So I've already started engineering it, but it was just basic. So these are going to be the 8A thrusters, dirty drag drives, because you want to go as fast as you can. I will be doing the frameshift drive. Life support, lightweight. Sensors, lightweight. Power distributor will be charge enhanced, lightweight. Power plant, I have an 8D right now. That will be going away, and I'll be getting a much smaller one, probably like a 5A, and then I'll monster that and lightweight that as well. So that way, what happens is we get a lot more speed and a little bit more jump range. So, but right now, I can't run that power plant on this thing because obviously everything would be underpowered. So what we're doing is I'm in a different ship. It's my other mining ship. It's a Crate Mark II. Here, I'll get out of here. And what I've done is I've taken the mining stuff off of it so that it has lots of room for limpets, because we're going to be getting materials. We're gonna like I need. Let me show you what I need here. We'll pull up ED Engineer. Okay. I know you're around here somewhere. Why is that not working? I have it enabled. Let me see something. There it is. Okay. So all I need, and I have basically this is my shopping list for my entire ship. I'm down to it's all the grade 5 and one grade 4 tellurium. So basically, I need to go get some tellurium, and I'll probably prospect that. That's easy enough to get. But then these guys, the proto-radiolic alloys, what a pain in the butt. Pharmaceutical isolators, even bigger pain in the butt. And improvised components, massive, massive pain in the ass. So what I'm going to be doing here is I'll be going just doing high grade emissions, and I'm just going to be farming them, and then I'll trade up. So because I only need these 3, I don't need anything else. So I'm happy to trade up anything else I get. So what I'm doing here, let me get this off the screen. Okay, so we're back to the game. So what I'm doing today is high grade emissions farming, and it's pretty straightforward. I'm going. Let me get out of this. Here, I'll just show you what we have on this one. The only thing I did was I just swapped out all the optional internals. I have collector limpets and then cargo racks. That's basically it. So, and I got rid of all the mining laser or, whatever, hard points. All right. So looking at the galaxy map, what I'm filtering on, I'll show you that real quick, is outbreak systems. And they're finally are showing back up. It took forever, but finally we're getting outbreak systems. And then higher population outbreaks. And so that's what I'm filtering for. And then I'm just going to jump to those. And what I did was I filtered them so that I just don't see a bunch of other stuff. But the other thing that I'm doing is, let me find it. I'm just moving stuff around real quick. The next thing I'm looking for in Nara, there it is. Okay, EDDB. So what I did was I just went to EDDB, and what I'm searching for is outbreak systems, and then basically I just distance away, but you filter by population, and you want to go high pop, and then distance from you. So, there's a bunch that I want to hit, and some of them are quite a distance away. So basically what I'm going to do is I'll just keep updating this reference system as I jump. So right now I'm going to Aratanus, and from there, well, what it will do is I'll show you the process. It's pretty straightforward. All right, let's get that off the screen. All right, time to get it going. But pretty excited about obtaining the. Hang on 1 second. Just doing an audio check real quick. All right, very good. I heard myself. I've been having audio issues with my microphone, so just did a quick check there, just to make sure. And trying to get some. And always remember, scan those ships out there. Every now and then you'll get data. No such luck on that one. All right, so what I'm heading to an outbreak system, and again, I'm going to be farming high grade emissions. I'm trying to get those grade 5 rare, ultra rare materials. It's nice to see that we're finally getting those outbreak systems again, so I can start farming the materials. And all I'm doing is I just have to gather a few more materials. Like I said, only like four different materials. Oh, I don't think I put fuel scoop on this thing. That's all right. We'll pick one up along the way. I think I can get about 10, 12 jumps out of this thing if they're economical jumps, so we're pretty good. It was pretty easy if you want to rank up in the Navy to let's say your goal is to get the cutter and you've been kind of avoiding doing it because you thought, oh my gosh, this is gonna kill me. I mean, it does depend on where you're at. But I went up 5 ranks. I was I don't even remember now, but I was 5 ranks away from Duke, which is what you need. So we're gonna hit the nav beacon, so we can light up all of the signal sources all at once. Oop. And this is the way. This is the best, I think, the most efficient way of doing it. You can use the FSS if you want to go and check each and every one of the signal sources, but it takes forever. It's much better, I think, if you just hit the nav beacon. They all light up at once, and then you can quick check them. Oh, and quickly I will I'm going to filter for signal sources. Okay. So all you do is select the nav beacon and scan it, and then we're going to get out of here. Get back to Super Cruise, because you can't see the signal sources unless you're in Super Cruise. Come on now, there we go. All right. Okay, so now we'll just take a look, and we've got a ton of degraded and encoded, but nothing, no high grades, so that's a bummer. That's a freaking major bummer. Alright, so let's see. We'll go to the galaxy map. Yeah. There we are. Okay, it looks like there's another one. Another system right there. And we will jump. And any system I jump into that has a nav beacon, I'm going to scan it. Alright. And when I get to that next system, I think... Well, here, let me just take a look real quick. They got a nav beacon here. They do. So we'll just hit that real quick. And, you know, high-grade emissions are... They're pretty rare. And especially when you're... Like, I'm looking for those pharmaceutical isolators. And those are pretty much impossible to find. You just can't find them anywhere. They're so rare. So what you do is you mine all the other stuff. You gather as many high-grade emissions as you can, and then you just go to a materials trader and just trade it up. And it's like a 6-to-1 trade ratio. It's awful, but it's the best you can do. Okay. And we'll just hit this guy again. I mean, this is the way they want us to gather these things, apparently. Alright. So again, you check your signal sources. And we've got degraded and encoded and no high grades. So really, really striking out. Oh, I forgot. You want boom. Let me go boom. Outbreak. No, outbreak. I don't think you can have boom. See, outbreak, I think, is where you're supposed to be able to get the pharmaceutical isolators, but I am not having any luck. And I'll snag a fuel scoop before I get into too much trouble here. Well, there's nothing in this system, so nowhere to land. Well, I bet there is. I bet there's a planetary landing. But getting back to how you obtain that rank, what you want to do is rescue missions. And you only take the missions that are like +3 reputation. And you fill up your cargo hold and I used a beluga because it has a massive amount of passengers. And I was basically doing 20% rank per where's the navigation beacon? Oh. At 20% rank per run, per passenger run, up until I got up into Duke when I would be doing between 12 and 17%. Which is awesome, by the way. Because, you know, you do 4 runs and you rank up. And you can do 4 runs in a half an hour. Or just over a half an hour. They're pretty quick. Nothing. Wow. Alright, so let me go. Here's what I'm going to do. Because this is not working. We're going to go to the galaxy map. Alright, so let me select one that's far away. Here, let me do something like this. We'll go. Get rid of that. We'll go boom. There's a lot more of those. And I'm going to zoom out so we can see a bunch of them. And okay, there we go. And I'm going to jump all the way to here. I'm going to plot a course. And we're going to, let me switch to economical. We get a lot more jumps. And I also want to go, I think I want to apply the filter to the route, see if I can get there. And see how many jumps that gets us. 8. Okay, so 8 boom systems on the way. But first, let me take a look. And I want to see, I got to land if I can. We're going to clear the filters. And I am looking for a station. Alright, I can... Let me just look this one up. Alright, well, I know this guy, Cinemac. I'm going to just go here. Because I'm hoping they'll have at least a fuel scoop. You know, before I waste any time, let me just look it up. So I'm just going to EDDB, and I'm going to go to stations, and I am in HIP 493. And what I'm going to do is just find a station that sells fuel scoop. And I think it's a 5. We'll see. Alright, so there's something really close by. Alright, so that's where I'm heading right now. I'll show you. Alright. Okay, so that's our jump. We got it. That's where I have to go to get a fuel scoop. So that's where I'm going. Nope. We're looking for Tanner Settlement. There we go. Oh, damn it. Wasn't paying attention again. So once I get a fuel scoop, then I'll hit that that course. Hey there, Ginger Nuts. How you doing? Oops. 26. I am always pretty good. I just try to keep it on a slow burn, you know what I'm saying? I'm gathering the last little bit of materials for my mega mining cutter that I'm going to basically be mining 1 billion credits per cargo hold. And I don't know, I had this idea that, wow, I would like to make 1 billion credits per mining run. And it'll probably take a while to fill. It might even take a couple of gaming sessions to fill that cargo hold, but what the heck? Might as well give it a shot. All right, so let me go to outfitting real quick, and I need to pick up a fuel scoop. And I think I don't need the FSD booster, so I'm gonna just sell it. And I'm going to put a smallish fuel scoop on. Well, for me, I usually, a gaming session is about an hour and a half. That's usually all the time I can spare. But up to 2 hours, I would say. So it would probably take 2 hours to half fill that thing with void opals if I'm about 650 tons. All right, so we're going to go fuel scoop. Oh, they don't. Look at this. They're killing me. A 1E fuel scoop. That is just brutal. Yeah, I'll do it over a couple of streams, I'm sure. What I'm doing today, though, is I want to engineer it because there's a trick to void opal core mining. How to be the most efficient at it, and you really need a ship that's as fast as possible in a straight line, so that you can cover as much of the asteroid field as possible, and so you can constantly boost. So you're going to need, obviously, you're going to need engineered thrusters and engineered power distributor. Those are the probably two most important things you would need. I can do my average is about 100 tons an hour when I'm doing the core mining. The trick is you have to do a little scouting ahead of time, so you have to find some candidate systems. Yeah, if you're only doing 25 tons an hour, you're not moving fast enough. And there's a trick to it. You're constantly boosting and constantly pulse scanning. So it's always running, and so you're constantly identifying candidate asteroids for cores. And when you get a really good system, like I won't even boost. I'll get one, and then I'll mine it, and then the very next one I see, it'll be another one, and then maybe it'll take a minute or two to find the next one. And what the key is, you want to find a system where nobody else is mining, and that's the one. That's the way to do it. But then, you know, what'll happen is, and it's all random. So you'll get I'll get a hot streak where I'll get 5 within 10 minutes. And then, or maybe 15 minutes if you count the actual mining time. But then, you know, it'll dry up for about 5 minutes and you won't get anything. You'll just be boosting. And then boom, you'll get another hot streak where you get 3 or 4 in a row. And then you're like, I usually mine in this crate. So it's about 128 tons of cargo, and I'll fill it up in a gaming session. An hour and a half I'll do. And you know, that's 215 million credits in an hour and a half. And yeah, you know, so you can definitely do it. And if you play a little bit longer, if so, you know, some days I do get 3 hours, I can do 500 million credits in a gaming session. So, but I have there's a couple of live streams that I have archived. Look for it, where I just kind of demonstrate how to do it efficiently. And it takes a little practice, and it definitely takes practice finding the right pulse wave results, because there's a lot of false positives and they're very similar to each other. So you really have to start to kind of discern what has cores and what doesn't. And what I've found too is that within a hotspot, the different materials will show up differently, and it kind of changes between hotspot. But once they're kind of set, when you're in that hotspot, a void opal core will always look the same. The granditerite will look slightly different. So you always want to, and then like low temperature diamonds will also be slightly different. And so each time you go into a hotspot, you have to kind of identify what they are. And so there's a little warming up process, but once you figure out what's what, then you can just boom, boom, boom. You can get them pretty quickly. All right. So, I don't have a fuel scoop, and I'm a little bummed about that. So let me look at my stored modules. I probably have a fuel scoop, don't I? Forget it. Let me look for another place that's close by. Oh yeah, see, a lot of these places, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to get a fuel scoop. Forget it. We'll just put the, we're just going to go and jump. Oh, you're welcome. Anyways, always happy to share through my trial and error the mistakes I've made. So, all right. So I'm going to hit this economical jumping. And what I'm looking for, again, is high-grade emissions. I appreciate the follow. All right. And by the way, welcome, B-Boy. All right. So let me get this going again. Navigation. All right, so I did like an economical jump. All right, and this should be... All right, 9 jumps. Let's see if I can't get some high-grade emissions and get some high-grade love here, because I am telling you, it has been... I've jumped through, I think, 4 systems so far, and nothing. And that's the part that'll drive you nuts about this. There's no... There's no... Thanks, Ginger Nuts. I appreciate the follow. There's no easy way to get this stuff going. And nothing consistent. You can't find... there's no consistent way to find this stuff. And that, I think, is what drives people nuts the most. Here, let me just take a look real quick. And we have a nav beacon, so we're going to hit that. So, and this is the way this is the most efficient way to find those high grade emissions, is you're just going to jump through as many systems as you can, and you're going to hit that nav beacon and scan it in every system, then you have to jump back into Super Cruise, and you're going to filter. I'll show you here. Let me do that right now. We're going to filter. I'm going to set my filters to signal sources. But it's crazy. I mean, I really, really wish there was a more consistent way to find these things. I will say I think that while it's not ideal, it's better than how it used to be, where you just had to endlessly fly in circles in a system, and they would just wait for them to pop up. I mean, that to me was the worst. It was the worst thing I'd ever done in a game. I was like, are you kidding me? Anyways. Alright, so what we do is we're just going to scan the nav beacon. And again, so it's a lot of you just jump in and you sit and you wait. And you wait. And you wait. Because our scanners are really slow. Alright. Now we're just going to jump back to Super Cruise. I like to boost away a little bit. Yeah, see, because you always get mass locked by some Yahoo. Alright. Alright. And so here we're looking, again, we're looking for high grade emissions. Oh, look at that. We got one. Alright, we got one. Out of all that crap, we got one. And let's see if we can get to it. Alright, we got 23 minutes to get there, so off we go. Alright, so we got a high grade emission. So, whew. Let me see. Inventory. Alright, I got my limpets. Alright, we're all good. Okay, and one thing you do is you point at this and then deselect it. Here, we're just gonna kind of deselect. You'll accelerate faster. These are kind of tricks that you do to get places more quickly. Just kind of get them in your general direction, and then unselect it. You'll go farther toward it before it starts to decelerate you. So and then you can manually decelerate, so you can probably save 2 minutes off of your time flying out to this thing. And those are the kind of things that nobody ever tells you, and you just kind of have to figure it out as you go. But I found that if you don't, like, I'm already up to, like, you know, 28C or whatever, and still accelerating. And now, look, if I point toward it, I can start seeing, okay, things are really starting to clip along. Okay, I got a new signal source. So, oh, there's another high grade emissions. No, oh, that's me. Never mind. It's still the only one. Because sometimes a second one will pop up if you're really lucky. Well, I'm not really sure. Oh, key binding layout for the new. Well, it really depends on what you're doing. So, it depends on what if you're using the HOTAS system where you've got a stick and throttle. What I did was I bound them to, because I have it's a Cytec X55 stick and throttle, and I had a ton of unused spots. I mean, I've got pretty much everything is bound to them, and I still have like 20 different spots available. And so what you do is, because you have to mode switch when you're doing the new exploration stuff, the FSS and the DSS and all that stuff, you mode switch for that. So they can be bound to the fire button, just like, because it won't conflict. So you can actually bind those to the same things, and it should allow you to do it. Now, it won't allow you to bind them to a key. All right, so I got to stop here. I'm going to fly right past this, so give me a sec. Okay, so you can see I'm already here now. So we're just going to kind of fly into that. So yeah, that only took 3 minutes or so. which it would have taken 6 or 7 if I had locked it in, because I would have started decelerating right away. So you do have to pay attention. But if you're doing a game controller, the best thing I can tell you is make it similar to what you already know. So if you use your fire button for limpets and that kind of stuff, if you can use your, like I will use my primary fire, and then for the FSS, I use the primary fire, and then I use a button that's right next to it for backing out. So to zoom in, it would be my fire button, and then to zoom out, it's all right. So here we go. Come on. All right. So now we're gonna take a look at what we got. So we look at contacts. And, oh, good, proto heat radiators. Those are really good. So what I'm gonna do is I put my cargo scoop out, and we got my limpets. I'm just gonna launch my limpets, and we're gonna go collect these guys. Oh, there's a ship right there. All right, so we'll collect these guys. And you always want to bring, when you're doing this kind of materials harvesting, you just want to bring limpets. It makes it's so much faster. I mean, there, I'm done, so I can just leave. And we're gonna put our weapons away. I mean, and again, we're right back to Super Cruise. And then before I jump away, I'm gonna check real quickly to see if we got any other high-grade emissions, because sometimes when you clear one, you'll spawn one. So we kind of look. And nothing. Okay, so next system. And that's how you do it. So you get what you came to get, and you move on to the next one. But I don't know where yeah. You should see me when I'm trying to land. I get in a conversation with you guys and I'm trying to dock. Half the time I'll fly into the station, I don't even get permission. I gotta get out before they detonate my ship. Alright. Alright. Yeah, it took me, well, I started playing Elite Dangerous, and you don't ever talk to anybody when you're playing it. And I played for a very long time, just completely on my own. And then when I started live streaming it, it was like a whole different animal. It's like I would forget to do the most basic things. All right, let me see. Let's see if I can get over here without see, it's gonna put me right in the danger zone here. Unfortunately, this is I wish that there was a way that this was more dynamic, that some of these materials that they just never drop any other way, because I would love to get some stuff from, doing combat, instead of just flying to nav beacons all the time. But I mean, another way to get some other grade for this is the Crate Mark II. And I find it's by far my favorite core mining platform, because it's fast. It's got a really good it can carry a good amount of cargo, and it's not too much. So I kind of tailored it to how I like to play. So I know that I don't want to sit in a asteroid belt for more than one gaming session. I want to do something other than, you know, just sitting around. So, all right. So let me just, here, let me just turn my ship. It's hard to read. All right. So we got no high grades. What a bummer. All right. Next system. I found that like I said, a typical gaming session for me is about an hour and a half, and I can do a full mining run. That's find a system, fill my cargo hold with void opals, get back, and cash it in, all within that hour and a half. And sometimes I can do it more than once. I won't get 2 full loads, but I might get 1.5, and then I just wrap it up. It's like, all right, so that puts me at about 300 million for a day, which is, that's just crazy. It's totally crazy. But the way I like to play too is I love to buy tons of ships, and I don't ever sell them. So I'll buy a ship and I'll make it for a specific purpose, and that's all I ever do with that ship. I typically will not get rid of that ship ever, and I'll always think of it as, okay, this ship is for mining. And I pretty much only ever use it for mining, except for I do use it occasionally for materials gathering, because it's got a fairly nice jump range. Just under 50 light years. Alright, so I gotta get around this guy. Here, I'm in that kind of hot zone. There we go, now we're out. Alright. Ice rings, no, it doesn't matter. What matters for core mining is that no one else is mining it. So you want to use a resource like inara.cz. It's a website, and you look up the system that you're thinking of mining, and it'll give you a traffic report, like how many ships have gone through that system. And what you're looking for is a system that has had 0 to 5 ships through it in the last 24 hours. You definitely don't want high traffic systems, because those are going to be mined to death, and you will literally fly for 30 minutes and you won't find a core. So you want to find these unmined rings, and they don't have to be pristine. That has nothing to do with the cores. So your key is going to be low traffic ice rings. That's it. And sometimes you'll find great systems, and there won't be a single void opal core on any of the planets. You'll be like, oh my gosh. And and that's kind of random. It's whether you get lucky or not. And what I did is, if you're gonna do it, engineer your ship to go as fast as you can make it. So you're going to want to get... Oh, look at that. We got 1 high grade. And... Oh, no. We're not going to make it in time. We'll give it a shot, but I don't think I'm going to make it in time. Now, that's the other thing. So I got a high grade emission, and I have 2 minutes and 41 seconds to get there. That's insanely short time. And that's the part of this game that drives me nuts. It's like, if you're gonna give me one, give me one. Don't put it just out of reach. So, and I think that's the way Frontier does things. They say they're gonna make things easier, but it'll be just as frustrating. And this whole mechanic of materials gathering, I get that they want to make it like you're exploring and looking around, but there's got to be some sort of repeatable way. And I mean, this is repeatable, I guess. Yeah, this is brutal. I'm not gonna make it. That's all right. Let me see. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna make it. That's all right. Here, what you'll see is it's just gonna disappear on me. It'll just vanish off the screen. Such a tease. Yeah, that's too far away. And this is what I think causes people to like smash their keyboards about this game. It's like, oh, here, look what we put one out for you, but nope, you can't get it. And this one was just kind of on the cusp. I'm so close. All right, here, let me see if I can get to it without flying past it. It's gonna disappear on me, I know it. Yeah, there. Just see, it just disappeared. Piece of shit. All right. We're out. Next system. That's enough to make me mildly unhappy. Yeah, I mean, I got within 100 light seconds and it disappeared. But that's, you know, that's part of the game. I know there's some developer laughing somewhere. Here's what we'll do. We'll put the carrot out there and then we'll yank it away. All right. Let me just quick get the scan. Oh, the other thing is, you know, I always scan these systems because every little bit of credits help. All right, so there's the nav beacon. I'm really close to it. And you know, the other thing is, if you want to have an easier time core mining, try and there's a couple of other, I can't remember, Alexandrite or something. There's a couple that sell fairly closely, over 1 million credits per ton. Not quite as much, like they're maybe 1.2 or 1.3 million per ton, but they're much easier to find, so more common. And so that's also another option. Instead of just going for the void opals all the time, you take a slightly smaller cut, but you are able to mine them much more quickly. Yes, the delivery bonuses. Ah, yes, those are the days, weren't they? All right. All right. Let's get out of here and see what we got. All right, there's one. Just one. So at least I mean, they're giving me something. All right, see, now this one, 28 minutes. Much closer, and I got a half an hour. I'm going. So, in all the time I've been playing so far, I basically have gathered 5 uh what it proto heat radiators. That's it. That's a bummer. You know, there are other times where I'll find a ton. Maybe I should filter by higher population. That's the other one that you want to do. Well, I'll show you in a sec here. Let me well, here, we'll just I just altered my speed so I won't overshoot that thing. So take a look at this. This is ED Engineer, and this helps with engineering. But basically, I need 10 improvised components, 10 pharmaceutical isolators, 40 proto-radiolic alloys, and 3 tellurium. That's all I need to get the all of this engineering. So, and these are basically all the modules that I need. So, all right. Anyways, let me get that off the screen. Give me a sec. And ED Engineer, I highly recommend it if you're doing engineering. It's a standalone app that it runs on your desktop. I think it requires Windows, so if you're not running Windows, sorry. But basically, it hooks directly into the game, so it knows all the materials you have immediately, and it updates. All right, so core dynamics and proprietary. Let me see. Do I have proprietaries? Okay, I need those, so I'm going to remove those, and I'm going to get these guys.
Cargo scoop deployed.
And but it basically I'm engineering this entire ship. Well, that new cutter of mine. And so what I did was I added it. What you can do is you can create a shopping list basically in ED Engineer that has you tell it what you want to engineer, and it tells you how many you have and how many you need. And it keeps total track of it for you, which makes it so much easier instead of having to have all these manual lists all the time. I think part of making the game much more enjoyable and less grindy is having these third-party tools. And yes, I wish all of those things were built into the game and included, but they're not. But they're out there, and they're easy to set up, and there's a good community that supports them. But I use, I think, 5 or 6 different external helper programs. All right, so I'm just looking just real quick before I jump out. All right, no more high grade, so we jump again. And I'm just watching my fuel. I still have more than half a tank, so we're good. I ditched the fuel scoop so I could get more limpets, so I could be out here longer. Oh, a compromised nav beacon. We'll just lock that one in. So this is the compromise usually means you're in an anarchy system, and there's a pirate activity. So you have to watch out. You don't want to be carrying cargo when you jump into one of these places, or at least valuable cargo. Limpets are okay. You won't get jacked for limpets, but if you're carrying even 1 ton of anything that anybody deems valuable, you'll get attacked by like 30 pirates inside of 10 seconds. It's ridiculous. Unfortunately, this is if you need to gather materials, you're going to be stuck doing this for sure. Now, material traders make it easier because you don't have to gather the specific materials, and you can trade up. But it's still quite tedious. And so you see all of those ships; those are all pirates. And if you want to compromise, nav beacons are good if you want to go in and just, you know, do mass ship destruction. Alright. Oh, there's one. So far, I've just been getting 1 per system. And that one that's alright. I can get there in time. And that's, I mean, this is how you do it. It's just one after another, and when I'm live streaming, it makes it a lot easier, a lot less tedious because we chat. You know, that makes it good. But find something that can occupy yourself while you're doing it, because otherwise, I think you'll just go nuts. And part of me, I like to pretend that I'm actually role playing, and I mean, think about it. You know, if this was your job, it's like, all right, you need to go out and gather these materials. Or you don't get paid. And you know, then you're like, well, you know, it's my job. They don't pay me to think or care. They don't care whether I'm bored or not. Just go do your job, or you don't get paid. And so a lot of times I'll do that. I'll say, oh, you know, it's just my job. And you get in that mindset. You know, you'll do a lot of things for work that you would never do on your own. I mean, there are entire jobs that you would never ever do, but because someone pays you to do it, you'll do it. And I mean, so it helps me, whatever helps, I guess, right? Whatever helps you get through it. All right, so made that in plenty of time. Got about another minute here. That can be, you know, and it's the one thing is you hope you get some sort of variety, that you're not getting always the same garbage. But I mean, like I got some core dynamics, composites or whatever, and then those proprietary composites. And I mean, it's all grade 5 materials, and it's all good. Even if you don't need it specifically, you just gather them all up. More proto heats, but that's all right. We'll take them. There we go. And these guys will make short work of this, and then I'll just get back on my way. And it's, you know, it's just, there's a lot of repetition in this game to get what you want. Now, it's going to be great because I'm doing it because I want this, you know, I want this monster cutter that can do 1 billion credits per mining run. Now, I've never really mined that extensively, but I will say I have gotten I've 3 or 4 runs out of a let me just see if I don't get another high grade here. No, nothing. But you know, that's the trick. How many can you get before the ring system is tapped out? And if they're not dropping right away, that's the other thing. I'll go into a hotspot and I'll give it 5 minutes for my, maybe 6 for my first core. If I don't find one, I'll go to a different hotspot in the same ring. It's just if they're not dropping, they're not dropping, and it's not going to change. That's what I've found, anyways. See if I can't get to this guy. There it is. Oh, there's a brown dwarf right there. Almost flew right into it. That wouldn't have been cool. See, I have the exact opposite. All I see is dollar signs when I'm doing the opal mining. I mean it's just raking them in left and right, and it's quick, you know. And then you just, like, I'll do 200 million, I'll cash it in. It's like I just made 200 million credits for like minimal effort. It's amazing. And I like the mechanic of mining. I think it's fun, cracking them open and planting the charges and all that stuff. That, to me, that's probably one of the most fun activities to make credits, because there's some skill involved. You really have to be able to fly your ship. It gets easier, obviously, but never to the point where you can't pay attention. But like the top speed on this is about 525 for a boost, and I can pretty much constantly boost. And I found that makes it go really quick. You gotta have a fast ship when you're mining. If you're plodding along at 300 or 250, it's gonna make the experience just drag, because you're not gonna cover enough to hit those. Because they're spread out pretty far. Alright, so nothing here. On to the next. Excuse me. Yeah, and I'm not BSing you, by the way. I was down to, last week I got down to about 200 million credits in my bank. And that's my lower limit. I start to get nervous because I can spend 200 million credits in about 30 seconds in this game. And so I was like, well, I want to get back above 1 billion. So I basically, oh shoot, that's a white dwarf. You never ever want to fly into the exclusion zone of that. All right, so we got to find the nav beacon on this. All right, so there it is. Let's slowly accelerate. Watch out for that exclusion zone. Those white dwarves are brutal. I lost my, I have another account that I play on for exploration, and I used a white dwarf to jump, and I was, I don't know, 20-something thousand light years out, and I got caught. I I totally fat fingered the keyboard, flew right into the exclusion zone. What the hell? What do you mean temperature critical? Well, I must be way too close to the white dwarf, so we're gonna fly away. Shit! Alright, what is going on? There we go. I don't know, that was scary. I'm just gonna stop for a second. Where is the... There's the white dwarf. Why is my temperature going critical? That doesn't make any sense to me. Here, let's try this. I don't think I've ever tried to hit a nav beacon near a white dwarf. But see, I mean, white dwarves are like the demons of this game. They're just hellish because they have a pretty big exclusion zone, and if you get caught in it, you just can't get out. They'll bombard you until your ship is destroyed. So don't fly into one of those if you can avoid it. And I mean, I was really far away. I don't understand why. Anyways, whatever. Alright, so I'm just gonna fly away from that white dwarf. Alright, let's see. Any HGEs here? Encoded, degraded, encoded, encoded, blah, 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 blah. You get tons of crap you never want. Always. Alright, so we'll go next system. That's kind of a bummer. Hey Ricardo, welcome. Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, you don't need an expensive ship. Even if you can carry 20 tons of cargo, you can make about 50 million credits an hour or so mining void opals. So yes, you can, and you can kind of rank up your ship really quick. You get that bank account higher, then you can buy a bigger ship, and then you can start